In 2001, Canadian marine engineer Paulina Zalitsky and her husband Paul Weinsweig, operating under their company Advanced Digital Communications (ADC), were conducting a survey of the seabed in collaboration with the Cuban government. Using sonar equipment, they identified a 2 square kilometers area at depths between 600 and 750 meters that revealed symmetrical and geometric stone structures resembling an urban complex. These formations are located off the tip of the Guanahacabibes Peninsula in the Pinar del Rio province of Cuba. The sonar images and subsequent explorations using remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, revealed massive, smooth blocks resembling hewn granite, some measuring up to 8 by 10 feet, 2.43 by 3 meters. Structures that appeared to be pyramidal, circular, and rectangular, some stacked in ways suggestive of deliberate construction. Features interpreted as walls, corridors, and amphitheater-like formations. These characteristics led some to speculate that the site could be remnants of a prehistoric urban settlement, possibly built over 6,000 years ago, predating known ancient civilizations. Why would something this massive be shelved? Why no further excavations? Did it challenge too many timelines? Despite global interest, the high-resolution ROV footage was never released. The team fell silent. Some say geopolitical red tape, others say private interests silenced them. Was it oil, or was it history itself that needed to be buried? Welcome back to In Search for Tontonteac. Today, we are finishing up Confessions Part 4, Is America the Old World? Last week I discussed what we have discovered over the past few months and pushed a theory that maybe the Amazon or the Americas is the original home of the human. That is why I opened up with the idea that Cuba may have had an ancient city buried beneath its shores. What does any of this have to do with Tontonteac? The Hopi, known as the Peaceful Ones, are a very interesting people. Beginning in the 1500s, multiple recorded meetings showed attempts by Spanish crusaders to oppress the Hopi and convert them to Christianity. Like other Native Americans, the Hopi people were influenced by missionary work and Christianity, both before the Pueblo Revolt of 1680 and in boarding schools on the reservation. Many Hopi accepted Christianity, but the majority also retained their traditional spiritual practices. Spanish and American politics also led to the signing of the Treaty of Guadalupe de Hidalgo in 1848, in which the U.S. won jurisdiction of the region and manifest destiny ensued. These scenarios eventually led the Peaceful Ones to fight for their culture in a series of battles that extended into the 1800s. But with colonizers coming to the West and claiming Hopi lands for settlement, in 1882, the Hopi were relocated onto the reservation where they live today. After the Indian Reorganization Act of 1934, the Hopi had more freedom of self-governance and were quick to establish a tribal council and write their constitution with representatives from each village to provide a way of working together for peace and agreement between villages and of preserving the things of Hopi life. Although the Hopi have lost about 90% of their original reservation land, they have close to 20,000 enrolled tribal members today. Hopi culture and spiritual practices are vibrant. The people still practice some of their oldest dances and many still speak their native language. The Hopi also have a structure like mystery schools that we are familiar with on the other side of the ocean. The Hopi secret societies, like the Kachina, Pawamu, Wuwuchim, and Blue Star cults, show striking similarities to Egyptian priesthood initiations, Eleusinian and Dionysian mysteries, Greece, Tibetan monastic mystery orders, Freemasonic rites, modern descendants of ancient rituals. Each involves multi-stage initiations, oral transmission of sacred knowledge, astronomical and cosmological codes, and the preservation of pre-cataclysmic knowledge. Hopi myths, symbols, and rituals align deeply with Maya, Aztec, and Olmec cultures. The plumed serpent, Pahana for the Hopi, Quetzalcoatl for the Aztec, is a direct link. Kivas, subterranean chambers, resemble Mesoamerican underworld temples. Agricultural rites tied to Venus cycles and solstices are almost identical. Skeptics argue these similarities are coincidences or just archetypal patterns. But as we've seen time and time again on this channel, sometimes the fringe turns out to be the foundation. In Peru, especially at Tiwanaku, Caral, and Cusco, there were initiate brotherhoods. The Amaru priest kings of Lake Titicaca taught sacred science and astronomy. The Malki, mummified ancestors, were part of secret rites, like Hopi Katsina ancestor veneration. These may have come north or shared a root with the Pueblo cultures. Ancient Tibet had a powerful spiritual technological culture called Zhongjong, based around Mount Kailash. Some believe it was Shambhala. It featured mandalas, like Hopi sand paintings, prophecies of destruction and rebirth, Blue Star Kachina, oral teachings passed through secret initiates, a lost empire eventually overtaken by Buddhist expansion. The Bon tradition that preceded Buddhism in Tibet has echoes of Hopi creation cycles and elemental deities. Many of these systems hold one belief in common. Our world is not the first. Others came before and were destroyed by fire, flood, or ice. Hopi speak of the destruction of previous worlds, and the secret societies preserve the knowledge to survive the next. So, how do the Hopi connect with all these ancient cultures? Do you remember the myth we retold that within the Grand Canyon had found an ancient civilization that resembled Egyptian or Buddhist? If masonry isn't something discovered, but something passed down, taught, then what does it mean that so many ancient cultures around the world share the same architecture, myths, and secret societies? Are we being taught who we are, or what they want us to believe we are? The Hopitu Shinumu stand as a beacon to show us not all indigenous cultures were lost. Their closely held virtues of generosity, commitment, and adaptation have helped them weather history, keep their culture alive, and stand as a modern tribe today. So the theory is, after the last cataclysm, the survivors spread out, founding sacred brotherhoods across the globe to rebuild spiritual knowledge. The Hopi are one of the last truly intact links to that ancient source. Did remnants of these ancient societies begin rebuilding, and did some of them remember of the lands on the other sides of the earth?